Conscious Leadership Podcast, the human side of leadership, where consciousness meets practical business leadership. The podcast dives into real challenges managers face, from team motivation to navigating change. Discover actionable insight, proven strategies, and inspiring stories to help you lead with clarity, authenticity, and impact. Whether you are an SME owner, a team leader, or simply passionate about conscious leadership, this podcast will equip you with the tools to build stronger teams, foster trust, and achieve sustainable success. Tune in, lead consciously, and make a difference. Hello, and welcome back to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. Here's your host, Boris Nedved. Today's episode is one of the most personal and raw topics I've ever explored. The invisible burnout. The kind of exhaustion that doesn't make the news, that doesn't show up in HR data, and often goes unnoticed because it hides behind high performance. You know, or you might know that pattern. The leader who always delivers, who is always composed, always on, always sharp and available. The one who carries the weight that no one else can. The one whose team calls them unshakable, but whose nervous system is quietly collapsing under the surface. This is the burnout of the high-functioning leader. And for me, it's a silent epidemic. In this episode, I want to go beneath the metrics and the mental stories to explore the energetic reality of this executive exhaustion. Why some of the most successful leaders are actually dying inside, not from a lack of purpose, but from disconnection from their body's wisdom. Because burnout doesn't start in your calendar, it starts in your own nervous system. Most leaders don't collapse when they are overwhelmed. They typically double down. They tighten their schedule. They work longer. They keep saying, yeah, I'm fine. They become masters of maintaining the image of control. And it's a corporate paradox. The higher you rise, the better you get at hiding your fatigue. You learn to function flawlessly on fumes, to deliver excellence without feeling alive. I've seen this everywhere, and I've lived it myself. There's a peculiar kind of pride in holding it all together, even when something inside of you is screaming for rest. You look in the mirror, adjust your tie, fix your posture, and whisper, "One more day." Because stopping feels dangerous. Because slowing down might expose how fragile the armor really is. But here's the uncomfortable truth. High performance often hides depletion. When your nervous system lives in a constant state of overdrive, it eventually adapts by numbing itself. You don't feel the panic anymore. You feel nothing. The fire that once drove you turns into a quiet, steady hum of emptiness. You still deliver results, maybe even more than ever. But what used to feel like passion now feels like pressure. You're still showing up, but it's no longer from alignment, it's from obligation. And that's the invisible burnout. It's subtle, insidious, deceptive. It won't always show up as mistakes or missed deadlines. It often hides behind relentless consistency. It's the burnout that wears a confident smile. Leaders caught in this pattern often say, "I can handle it." They're not lying. They truly believe they can. But what they can't see is that their body has shifted from flow to fight. Their system is stuck in a sympathetic overdrive. And while the mind insists everything is fine, the body tells a different story. Shallow breathing, tense shoulders, restless sleep, a dull ache that won't go away. Have you ever noticed something like that? And yet the culture keeps applauding. Because in most organizations, still today, exhaustion is still celebrated as a sign of dedication. We glorify the ones who endure the longest, not the ones who are most aligned. We reward coping over coherence, and we equate strength with self-sacrifice. But leadership that requires you to abandon yourself isn't leadership. It's survival. Your body shifts into survival mode. The mask of high performance may win admiration, but it costs authenticity. And eventually, your body collects the debt. What makes this form of burnout so dangerous is that it isn't just physical. For me, it's existential. And at its root, it's an identity crisis. The collapse of the self-image leaders have spent years constructing. From the first promotion, success begins to merge with self-worth. The identity of the achiever becomes armor. I'm valuable because I deliver. It's subtle. But over time it hardens into a core belief that survival depends on performance. So when the fatigue sets in, when the once clear sense of drive starts to blur, the psyche panics. Instead of listening, leaders overcompensate. They chase even more projects, take on more responsibility, and double down on perfection. They mistake overextension for resilience. The truth is, they can't stop because stopping feels like disappearing. Beneath the calendar chaos lives a deeper fear. Who am I if I'm not producing, solving, or saving everyone else? That's the fracture point where leadership turns into survival. And the body pleads for restoration, for pause, for relief, while the mind clings to the created identity. I have watched many brilliant executives crumble inside this paradox. Their teams still see them as unstoppable, but inside they feel hollow, emotionally detached from their achievements. The dopamine of accomplishment fades faster each time, and it's replaced by a subtle grief they can't even quite name. And it's not a lack of skill. It's a disconnection from self, from yourself. They've confused their professional persona with their personal essence. Leadership becomes a costume rather than embodiment. And here's the irony. Many of these leaders have already read all the books, done all the yoga retreats, and taken all these existing coaching sessions. They know about mindfulness and balance, but they live it from the neck up. Because embodiment doesn't start with discipline. It starts with permission. Permission to pause. Permission to not know. Permission to feel again. And this is why human design offers a lifeline, a map back to you. It shows that your energy type, your authority, your natural rhythm, they are not random. They are uniquely set for you. They are the blueprint for how you are meant to operate. And when you align to that, the identity built on performance begins to dissolve. You begin to realize you were never meant to perform strength. You were designed to be strength through alignment, not effort. This is the invisible transformation at the heart of conscious leadership. The shifting from I do, therefore I am, to I am, Therefore, what I do resonates. I hope you get the subtle, distinct meaning of that. Your nervous system is the most intelligent sensor in your own organization. It registers subtle misalignments long before your conscious mind can even explain it. It's the quiet voice in the background, the tightening in your gut during a meeting, the shallow breath before you have to do an important call, the headache that arrives every Sunday night. Monday is my first working day. But most leaders have been trained to silence that voice. We are conditioned to trust logic over instinct, data over our own sensation, our own body signals. When the body says pause, what happens? We push harder. When the body whispers no, we rationalize it into a yes. When fatigue sets in, we rebrand it as commitment. Your body's signals are not inconveniences. They are messages. The message is coming from within you. They tell you when you are forcing, when you're out of flow, when your energy has lost alignment with your intention, with your soul purpose, with your being purpose. Think about how often your body speaks before your mind does. When the jaw tightens, when you say yes, but you mean no. The chest contracts when you are about to make a decision that simply doesn't feel right. The shoulders that tense when you're carrying something that was never meant yours to carry. These are not random reactions. These are energetic feedback loops designed to guide you back to your own coherence. Because the truth is, your body is not your enemy. It's your first line of leadership intelligence. It's not just keeping you alive. It's leading you toward alignment to who you are. And if you want to know where you are aligned, you don't need another KPI. You need to learn your signals. Listen to your body. And for every leader, for every person, for every unique human being, these signals are different. Yet human design gives us a language to translate it. Let's take just the career types. For the builder, the signal is frustration. When you are forcing work that doesn't light you up, your sacral energy shuts down. The frustration isn't failure. It's your body saying, this is not for me. This isn't it. For an initiator, the signal is anger. An initiator is designed to initiate from freedom, not force. When this person feels controlled, their system rebels. And anger is the indicator that they are out of alignment. Or if you are an advisor, your signal is bitterness or disappointment. When your guidance isn't recognized, your body contracts. And it's not rejection. It's a redirection signal. This is not right. It's not for me. It's something different. These emotions are not flaws. They are your calibration tools. They tell you when your energy is off and where it wants to go instead. Your body doesn't speak English, German, French or whatever. It doesn't talk to you in language. It speaks frequency. Every pulse, every tension in your body, every emotional surge is a transmission of truth from within you. And every time you override that frequency, you disconnect. You disconnect from your deepest leadership intelligence. The resonance that tells you when to move, when to wait, when to stop, and so on. So when leaders begin to listen again, and I mean really listen, they discover that their bodies have been leading all along. all their life. So we have to redefine what strength means in leadership. The old paradigm told us that strength was stoicism, the ability to suppress emotion, to soldier on through exhaustion, to be the calmest in the storm, even when the storm is inside you. But that definition was never true and is for sure obsolete. True strength is not about endurance. It's about energetic integrity. It's knowing when to hold and when to release, when to step forward, when to step back. It's learning to recognize the energetic edge before your system collapses and your body demands rest through illness or burnout. Real strength is nervous system literacy, the ability to feel intensity without identifying with it, to stay present in discomfort without reacting to it, to notice the tightening in your chest before it turns into resentment or rage, to pause when your system says enough, even when your mind insists more. The leaders who master this are the ones whose presence radiates calm instead of chaos. They know that when their own energy is coherent, their teams naturally find coherence too. This is how resonance works. Your nervous system sets the tone of the collective field around you. When you are grounded, the people around you feel safe to expand. When you are anxious, their bodies tighten. Leadership is not just about vision or decision making. It's about regulating the frequency of the room, the frequency of the team, the frequency of your company, whatever it might be. That's why nervous system regulation is the new superpower in leadership. It's the invisible skill that determines whether you transmit trust or tension. Real strength is the courage to say, I need a moment. It's the wisdom to slow down before your body forces you to. It's understanding that stillness is not stagnation. It's synchronization. If your body is tense, your field is tense. If your nervous system is overwhelmed, your team feels it, even if they can't name it. You cannot create resonance from a body in resistance. This is why in quantum leadership we say your presence is your performance. The frequency you hold is more powerful than any strategy you design. Strength, redefined, is no longer about pushing beyond your limits. It's about staying aligned with them, staying aligned with you. It's about embodying coherence so deeply that you become a source of stability for others. Not by holding everything together, but by being together in what is. Recovering from invisible burnout isn't about taking a weekend off or a quick vacation either. It's not about balance in the conventional sense. It's about remembrance. Remembering who you are. Who you are. Beneath the armor. Beneath the title. Beneath the identity that got built on performance. That you have built on performance. You don't heal invisible burnout by doing more. You heal it by undoing. By peeling back the layers of overcompensation and rediscovering the truth of your own energy. Here's where you can start. Pause before you break. The body always whispers before it screams. Learn to catch these whispers. The brief moment of hesitation before saying yes. The sigh before a meeting. The fatigue after a win. Signals. These are all your signals. Silence isn't weakness. It allows you to recalibrate. It's your recalibration mechanism. And it's where the power returns. Listen to your signals. Frustration, anger, disappointment, all these feelings, these emotions, they aren't emotional flaws. They are your alignment feedback. Your body talks to you. Builders feel this frustration when energy is wasted. Initiators feel anger when freedom is blocked. Advisors feel bitterness when their wisdom is ignored. The moment you label these sensations as bad, you lose your compass. When you try to overcompensate it, you lose your compass. When you try to hide it, you lose your compass. Learn to read them, not resist them. Reconnect with your design. Your human design blueprint, you might like it or not like it, but it's embodied in you. And it isn't another framework. It is a mirror. It's your mirror. It shows how your energy is meant to move, what alignment feels like, and what burnout feels like when you drift away from it. Alignment is efficiency at the soul level. When you operate according to your design, effort turns into expression. Burnout becomes impossible because you stop fighting your own flow. You live with you. You live out of you. Rebuild trust with your body. Your body isn't fragile. It's so fiercely intelligent. It doesn't sabotage your plans. It safeguards your purpose. When you honor its rhythms, sleep, rest, movement, nourishment, all true, all necessary, all needed, you restore coherence between your energy and your environment. You can't lead others from a disembodied place. Your body is your most advanced leadership instrument. And redefine success. Replace more with meaning. Replace strong with sovereign. Success is not about how much you carry, but how clearly you transmit. In quantum terms, leadership isn't about force. It's about frequency. And the clearer your field, the stronger your impact. Real recovery is not about doing less. It's about doing it from alignment. It's the courage to meet yourself. Where you actually are. Not where your calendar thinks you should be. Leaders who master this don't fade out of relevance. They amplify. Their energy becomes magnetic. They don't need to prove strength. Their presence speaks it. It speaks strength. Because true leadership isn't about holding everything together. It's about holding yourself together. Energetically, emotionally, and authentically. If you have been operating at 120% or more for too long, if you've been praised for your strength, but you secretly feel empty, this is my invitation to you to pause. Your nervous system is not your enemy. It's your compass. Listen to it, see it, read it, feel it. And when you learn to lead from that place, grounded, aligned, present, you stop performing leadership and start embodying it. And that's what I wish to you. This was episode 39 of my Conscious Leadership podcast, The Invisible Burnout. If this resonates with you, you can visit my website humaninthecenter.com to explore your human design chart, understand your energetic signpost, read my blog posts and so on, and learn how to lead from coherence, not exhaustion. And you can join me live on October 28th in my Quantum Leadership webinar, where we go deeper into the nervous system literacy, energetic alignment, and design-based decision making. We'll translate these ideas into practices you can use the next morning with your team or with you. Seats are limited. Details and registration you can find in the link below or humandesigner.com. So slow down, breathe deeper, and lead from your body's wisdom. Until the next time, stay intentional, stay conscious, and keep leading with purpose. From your inside out. Thank you for listening to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. Look forward to the next episode to come and stay intentional, stay conscious, and keep leading with purpose. Until the next time, bye.